Hey everyone, this is our test review for Unit 1 dealing with linear functions. So let's go ahead and dive right into it and go over all the things that we've talked about so far the past few weeks. Alright, so first part, you're going to encounter some questions where you're solving the equations and solving for x. So say I have 3x plus 5 equals 23. Remember, we want to get variable by itself, so just subtract 5, 3x equals 18. Divide by 3, x is 6. Remember on one like number 2, if you see this group here, this coefficient, go ahead and distribute. So you have 7x plus 2 times x is 2x, plus 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. Okay, and then remember to combine like terms here. 9x minus 10 equals 45. We're going to have to add the 10 to either side. So 9x equals 55. And this should have been a little bit better here. But divide by 9. You can say x equals 55 over 9. Which would have been nice if that would have been 54. So, but regardless, this equals about 6 point something. It's okay. All right, so number 3, again, distribute. Bring down 33. 33 equals 9x. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times negative x is negative 4x. Write this a little bit better. All right, one thing that a lot of people miss here is they see this 9x and this minus 4x, and a lot of people do this right here. And they add the 4x on both sides, but that's wrong. Don't do that, okay? They're on the same side, so go ahead and combine them. You got 9 positives and 4 negatives, so what you're left with is 9 minus 4x is 5x plus 8. So subtract 8. You'll be left with 25 equals 5x. So I'm just going to rewrite that back up here. 25 equals 5x. Divide by 5. And x equals 5. Okay. Number 4. Remember, leave this part alone. Get rid of everything else first. So let's go ahead and subtract 17. X over 3. 22 minus 17 is 5. Remember, the way we get rid of division is through multiplication. So x equals 15. Okay. That's it. Solving equations is pretty much all you need to know. Just get your variable by yourself and solve. And if you want to check your work, just plug everything in and see if it works out. So you will have to write an equation for a line. So remember, you need y equals mx plus b. So for instance, here's our b term. This is 0, 1, so b equals 1. By the way, this is positive, so your slope is going to ultimately be positive. And now we just need no rise over run, so I kind of blocked myself out here. But we know we go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So the slope here is just 1. So you could say y equals 1x plus 1, which is b, which just reduces to y equals x plus 1. When you're looking at a table, remember again, you need two things. M is the change in y over the change in x, and then the slope is, the y-intercept is when x equals 0. Well, we have when x equals 0, so this right here is your y-intercept. That's b. But let's find our slope. Our slope is our change in y. 4 to 6 is 2. Over the change of x, which is 1. So 2 over 1 equals 2. Therefore, y equals 2 over 1, or 2x, plus 4. Now, this one's a little different because we don't have x equal to 0. I'm going to show you one way to do it. 10 to 4 is minus 6. 5 to 6 is 1. So slope, change in y over change in x, it's negative 6 over 1, which is negative 6. Now, here's the cool thing. I'm going to show you a little trick if you want to try to solve for b a little earlier, or a little differently. Negative 6x plus b. One thing you can do is take a y and an x value from your table. So say I did these and then just plug them in. So let's say y is 10, negative 6, say x is 5, plus b, and then you can solve for b. So 10 equals negative 30 plus b. So then add the 30 to the other side. So 40 equals b. So your final answer is y equals minus 6x plus 40. And you could have also done that by going 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then counting backwards 16, 22, so on and so forth, and it would have ended up being 40. So either way works, whichever one you like better, you're fine to use. All right, so what do the words property of equality mean? That means you will be performing an operation on both sides of an equation. Okay. Now, 9, you're going to have some justification steps, so just remember, this is addition, property of equality, and if you don't put that, it will be wrong. So 92 equals negative 4x. The way you get when it's side by side, it's multiplication, so get rid of it with division. So we just did division property of equality. Okay, so x equals negative 23. That's it. Then one like 10, you've got to do your addition property. So that's add POE. So x over 3 equals 10. And then you need to, sorry about that, multiply both sides by 3. So x equals 30. That's multiplication property of equality. And then we're good. Now, when my PDF came out, this should actually be on the next page, so don't worry about that. But solve the equations for the indicated variable. I'm going to rewrite this because that shouldn't be there. Let me see if I can actually do... No, it won't let me erase it. Okay. Let's go with blue. All right. A equals PRT. It's telling me to solve for T. So PRT, that's all multiplied together, so divide by PR. That way those go away, because it's multiplication, you got to do the opposite. So T will equal A divided by PR. On 14, we're solving for F. It's divided by T, so multiply times T. So you get TA equals F plus I. We want to move I to the other side, so minus I. So TA minus I equals F. I'm just going to throw this one in there. Another good one is always the 2W plus 2L equals perimeter. And let's say we're solving for L. You would move the 2W over. So we'd have 2L equals minus 2W plus P. that way works or the other way works, and then divide everything by 2. That looks like a lot we've been doing with, say, like 3x plus 2y equals 10. And we're solving for y. Subtract the 3x. So you're left with 2y equals minus 3x plus 10. And divide by 2. So y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 5. So those are just some extra ones you might want to take a look at. Continuing on, we'll go through a couple here and then kind of go into part 2. So 15, 16, 17, 18, kind of the same thing. It's just an inequality now. So minus 8, 3x greater than or equal to 18 divided by 3. And because that wasn't negative, it just stays the same, 6. 16, we have this coefficient of 9, so distribute. So we get 9x minus 27 greater than or equal to 3x plus 4. Some people like to add their constants first. I'm going to go ahead and just subtract the 3x, so I get an x, but the x is on one side, minus 27 greater than or equal to 4. Let's change this to a 3 if you don't mind. That way it's going to be a little nicer. So plus 3. So plus 27 plus 27. 6x minus 27 greater than or equal to 30. Oh, sorry. We just got rid of that, so that goes away. Divide by 6. X is greater than or equal to 5. All right. Oh, moving on. There we go. So on this one, we can avoid some negatives if we add the 2x on this side. So we get 13, get rid of that. It's less than 14x minus 7. Now let's add 7. And this is going to be kind of a weird number, but it's all right. 20 less than 14x. Now we have to divide by 14. And then x is going to be, let's see, that's 20 over 14 reduces to 10 over 7, less than x. Now, let's rewrite this entire thing the other way. This is different than just divided by negative. Let's say x is greater than 10 over 7. And that's fine. Now remember, the only rule you need to remember is, say, let's say you had this, negative 3x greater than 9. If I divide by a negative, it changes the sign. And that's really it. That's the only thing, only one time. You have to remember that, only with negatives. In division or multiplication. That's it. So let's look at 18. Let's get another color. Let's try this orange. All right, so I've got a smaller x on this right side. I'm going to subtract this 3x. So I get 4x plus 41 less than or equal to 25. Let's subtract this 41. 4x will equal negative 16. Oh, sorry, less than or equal to. Bad. Divided by 4. So x is less than or equal to negative 4. All right, that's going to be part 1. Part 2 is going to go through 19 through the rest. But if you have any questions over these, let me know. Also, double check your quizzes and your skill checks to get a good idea of what's going to show up back up on the test. But pretty much, if you can do this kind of stuff, you should be in good shape. So just let me know if you have questions, and we can go from there.